there's a brand new version of the Nano Banana plugin in Photoshop. So in this video, I'm going to cover what's new, show you some of the new features, as well as show you how to install it and answer some of the questions I received in my previous video. So let's get right into it. So here I've opened a high-res image. So you can see it's about 3000 pixels. And I'm pointing this out because one of the questions I was getting was like, how is the resolution on larger images? Because usually I deal with renderings, they're smaller in size. This is going to be a good test. So let's get started. So some of the things we can do with Nano Banana is like we can change colors of things, we can change overall aspects of the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all this and I'm just going to say, make this a snowy scene. And we'll see how that does. So this was our prompt as before. We do have the option to bring in the reference photo that was there before, the ability to swap models. And what you can do now is actually upscale directly here, which is nice because the original output isn't as super high res. Here you can actually just upscale and you don't need to do that as a selection like previously. And then you could do number of variations. So if you don't want to do just one shot, you could do multiple all at once. So I'm going to hit submit and we'll see how this handles. If you remember my previous video about the script, one of the limitations was it wasn't able to handle a large like swath or area. It was very limited to a small piece. And here I can see it's already improved there and affecting the whole image. So this is exciting. This is all real time, just so you can see how long it takes. It's usually about 15 seconds. So there you go. We've got snow. And like the funny thing is it actually added ice. Didn't change their clothes other than adding like a hat, which is kind of funny. But overall, pretty impressive. But if I zoom in, you can kind of see it's beginning to get grainy. So there's definitely some degradation there. But this is where the upscale would come in. So let's try that just so we can see what that looks like, because I know that's really important to a lot of you guys, especially in the world of photography. If it's blurry like this, you really can't use it, especially when you've got like such a crisp image and then you've got like a small portion that's low res. It's not going to look as nice. All right, and now it's done. Let's zoom in. Definitely looks sharper than before and after. It's a little bit of a lift, but still not as sharp as the original image. So just know, if you're dealing with a super high res image, this may or may not be the tool for you. But again, it's a huge time saver. Like if you were to manually make it snowy, I mean, that would take forever. And I feel like it probably wouldn't look as good. So now let's talk about what else we could do. Let's say I want to add a building here. So add a skyscraper. And I'm going to change it to 3 variations. That way I can see 3 different versions of this. This is more in line with like generative fill, where you get 3 options that pop out and you can choose which one you want, which is nice because in the script version, you can only do 1. So here we're getting 3 options and they actually all look pretty sweet. And it kind of blended in with like the fog and the volumetrics. That's actually a nice touch. I didn't expect that. So I'll turn that off. And one thing that I've always noticed about this plugin, and I'm hoping you can see this. Zoom in, I'll bring in my scrubby. Pay attention to the pixels around here. I'm not sure why this happens, but there's a little bit of a jiggle that happens. It basically like moves the pixels over by like 1. You see this right here, that artifacting? I'm not sure what that is. I hope that gets fixed, but that kind of drives me nuts that it's like off by a little. You could definitely mask that and make it look better to help blend it in. But overall, like it was able to generate, options that look pretty nice. And that's great. It's just, there's some weird quirks there. So now that we've got that, let's see what else we could do. Let's say we want to change the colors of these trees over here. Let's say change trees to autumn colors. And let's just do one option. And one thing you guys were asking is like, how does it treat layers? It actually looks at all the layers, even if they're hidden, which is kind of weird. So just be a little cautious of that. If you have something you don't want to contribute, I've noticed sometimes it pulls that information in. It might be, a bug with the plugin, but as you can see here, it is working pretty flawlessly here. I mean, this does look, vibrant and autumnal. Yeah, can't argue with that. But again, there's that little jostle there. So now next thing that I find really useful is just like removing things and people. So let's say these people, I don't want them here. Remove the boat and people. And this is something that, generative fill has been pretty good at about doing, but if you're using this plugin anyways, might as well. We got to talk about all the different things it can do. And there we go. Let's remove that. And now the last thing I want to cover is poses. You guys ask me a lot, can it adjust people and everything? So let's do a test. Let's say I've got this person right here, and let me give it a larger context window. And let's just say, make the sitting person stand. And let's see what happens there. And I purposely selected this person over that one because there are people in the boat. So I just want to see what's going to happen. I haven't tested this before, but I already just saw a little preview flash and that looked kind of promising. And there we go. And it was not fooled by my antics. That's pretty crazy, actually. And it did a pretty good job. Again, there's that jostle, but I mean, to just swap that person out real quick, that's pretty crazy. So overall, not much has changed other than, we've gotten the ability of upscaling and variations. And then now that it's a panel, pretty good so far. So if you haven't, tested this yet, definitely consider it. I think it's pretty nifty. I like having this thing here. I feel like it's pretty handy. I'm not a big fan of the Google AI Studio. I feel like it's a little clunky. This using Photoshop and it being like native to my day-to-day work, I'm a big fan of it. So now that we talked about all the amazing features in the new plugin, let's talk about how you actually get it installed. So if you haven't already, go ahead and purchase this plugin. You can go to the Gumroad here. And one thing I will point out, the original guy who made this, his name was Rob. You'll notice that now it says Allenberg from Astria. It seems like Astria AI, basically they provide the API for the cloud services to render all this, has now taken over management of the plugin. I don't know if it's just because of like how many sales it's been and how crazy it's been, and that's why they took it from Rob. This is the correct plugin. I've gotten a lot of questions from people like, hey, is this the right plugin? Because this was a little confusing. It actually confused me too, and I was like, what's going on? So then I dug a little bit deeper, and then I realized from Astria API. Anyways, once you purchase it, you're going to see this screen right here, and there's 3 things to look at. This is the CCX file. This is the actual panel plugin version for Photoshop. This is the script version. This is what we were looking at last week. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hit download, and there's a bunch of nice steps here, as well as on the front page of Gumroad that talks about how to install it. But I'm going to go right through it real quick. That way, you don't have to go through that. So I'm going to hit download. So once the CCX file is downloaded, all you got to do is just double click it, and it's going to open up in Creative Cloud. It's going to say install a non-marketplace plugin. We're going to go ahead and hit install. There we go. We know we're doing the right thing. Let's hit OK. It's going to take a couple seconds, and now it's installed. I'm going to click Open Photoshop right here. That way it just brings me directly there. Okay, once Photoshop opens up, let's just hit New File or Open an Image. Doesn't matter to me. The point is we want to get over to our plugin panel. So you're going to get a message right here that you can open up the plugins panel, or you could go up here. So I'm just going to hit Open Plugins Panel. And there we go. We've got a nice panel. So that's where the word's coming from. And you can click this. And now this is the new script or the new plugin, right? And so right now it's saying, hey, you need an API key. This is so it can connect to Astria that's handling all the cloud processing. Many of you are asking like, why do you have to pay money for this? Well, AI requires GPU resources, and these guys are providing it as a service. Do know they are giving a free credit, which was kind of nice that I noticed. So I'm going to hit Open Astria, and I'm going to hit Allow, and I actually have it right open here. And right over here, you can actually see that I've got some money on my account. And what I actually did, just as testing, because I saw that there was a free credit, but I didn't really understand it. I actually put $5 in this just to kind of see. And now I know it was probably like $2 of credits. So you can play around for free is my point here. Okay, you don't need to spend money. So what we've got to do is once we are logged in, let's go over to API, and you're going to generate an API key. I've already generated mine. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Again, we're under API. If you want, you can add billing information in here and it automatically top off, meaning like if you drain the account, it'll just put money in there. That's all that means. So now I'm going to go back to Photoshop. I'm going to drop this in here and I'm going to hit save. And now the plugin is here. So just as a test to make sure everything's working, let me open up the previous image we were looking at. So now that the image is loaded and we've got the plugin working, let me just do a test. I'm going to select these buildings and just say, turn these buildings red. just something as a test, just to make sure that the API is connected and working. Some questions I've gotten from you guys in the past is like, oh, API errors, things not working. There might be a firewall issue. I highly recommend that you do reach out to support to handle this. If you need their contact, you can just go right here and contact them. They can help you. I don't work for these people, okay? I can't help you, but they can. So reach out to them. And there we go. We can see that it's working. I can deselect and all is well. So that's how you get it with the new plugin. If you have any questions in general, drop a comment. I'll get back to you. And as always, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel.